Roasting some ash in the oven. How do we do it? Make sure they're spaced out so some air can get through. These have already been in for 2 hours. I'm going to put them in for another 2 hours and show you how to do that. We're going to use a convection oven, which is important for consistent heat circulation. What the hell we use this? We're going to start at 270 for 45 minutes or so, just to bring everything up to a consistent temperature, internal temperature. Then after that, we're going to increase the temperature up to about 330, maybe 350. We'll keep the convection on, of course, and go for another 2 hours. Check on it. Might need another hour, but we'll have to see. So let's take a look. Oh, that looks good. So what I ended up doing was for 2 days, 2 separate days, I put it in between 250 and 270 the convection oven for 45 minutes to an hour. Let it heat up so we have a consistent temperature throughout the wood. Then I cranked up the heat to about 350 and let it cook, let it bake for 2 hours. Then I turned off the oven and let the oven come down in temperature just to get a little more cooking time in without and let the heat come down as well. So let's take a look and compare it to a piece that hasn't been baked yet. So those are the pieces, been baked. This is an unbaked piece of ash. Pretty big color change too. Believe it or not, yeah, they did lose a lot of weight. I don't have an unbaked piece that big. But that looks pretty good. I also wanted to see, these were all planed and jointed, and I wanted to see what the baking would do, if it would change the shape of the wood significantly. Doesn't look like it really has. But geez, I'll have to go and go back and just probably join them just a little bit to make sure they're perfect. But we'll inspect them back in the shop. So here's the body now. You can see the contrast in the color of the wood, the roasted versus what it looked like before I put it in the oven. I should have, it's all been jointed, but I should have planed the top of it before I glued it together. But I I pushed it all together, drew the outline from the template, top of the guitar. Now I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way since I don't have my thickness planer. I'm going to use a jack plane and bring it all down to 1 3/4 inches. Capture some of this. This piece right here is already 1 3/4. The piece next to it's really pretty close, so it's really just these two end pieces. So I got that all planed out to 1 3/4. Nice and smooth. I drew the outline from the template onto the body. Now I'm going to line this back up with the center line. Double-sided tape, stick it down, bring it over to the router table. Actually, I might take it to the bandsaw and get a little bit more of this off first, but then start shaping the body with the router. So I made this template just from one of my strats. Took off the pick guard, traced it, transferred that onto a piece of MDF, routed it out, screwed it on through where the neck's going to be, and then also through the tremolo cavity. So I'm just going to clear out a little bit of this stuff here before I go in with the router. It's a 1/2-inch Forstner bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and just route. I only went down the depth of the bit, which isn't very deep, but it'll give me an edge here because I don't have the right kind of, I don't have a bit that's shallow enough. It needs to be about a hair longer than a 1/2 inch, so I'm using the same one I use for the truss rod, and I'm going to use this edge then to go along the use it as a guide.